everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Karina and welcome back to Ready Set Pan. Today is an exciting update because we are updating my Use That Eyeshadow project. Of course, where I randomize an eyeshadow from my collection, use it 10 times, and then just keep the ball rolling to help me determine what I like about my collection, what I want to, just stash, get rid of a little bit, and keep working on things so I have a nice tailored collection. So we have 3 eyeshadows in. Let's dive into them. So 2 of these were new last time, so let's start with one that's been there for 2 months, which comes to us from the Dominique Cosmetics The Moment palette. These last 10 uses have solidified how much I love this palette. This is probably kind of towards a top palette in my collection because the formula is so good. And even though we got some crazy blues in here, which normally aren't my thing, it's just a wonderful palette. The color I had rolled in was Essential, which is the matte that is currently in my crease today. So I had a combo of Essential in the crease, Elevated in the outer corner, and then I used After Hours all over the lid. And then, of course, also Embrace as my setting shade. So, beautiful. I had 7 uses on it last time. I've used it 3 times since the last update, bring me to 10 uses on this one. So this is a goal met. Next one I rolled in is this palette back again, the 3rd eyeshadow I have rolled in from my Revolution Makeup palette. This is the Forever Flawless Constellation palette. This is, of course, very colorful. And I had rolled in the shade Solar. So, of course, this was a new palette as of the last month. Solar, I got 4 uses on, so 6 uses left to meet my goal on it. This has been a good all over the lid shade. And the 3rd one, and the 2nd one I rolled in last time, this is my Pixi by Petra Glittery Eye Quad in Gold Lava. Looks like this. I had rolled in shade number 3, which is this one here, the deepest, darkest one in there. And guys, this obviously is a companion palette. It does not stand alone. I can't do a full eye look with this, at least based on how I like to do my looks. So I was actually pairing this a lot with from This Is Fantasy. I had rolled in an eyeshadow there. It was like a dark matte outer corner kind of color. So I was putting this all over the lid to pair with it. And because of that, I actually reached for it 10 times, which means this is already going to be a goal met. So I actually met 2 of my goals from the last month, which is very exciting because I was only expecting to make my goal on the Dominique Cosmetics, which means we get to roll in 2 new shades, which is the best part. Finally got a new phone, so about time. The other one was quite beat up. So we're going to randomize 2 new shades to bring in. Shade number 1. Can't even see that. 344. Towards the end of my collection, and let's see, the 2nd shade is going to be number 320. All right, I am back. So 344 comes to us from my Ciate London Royal Edition palette, which if you caught Declutter number 8, that was one of the palettes I ripped apart. So I've got them in my little single Z palettes here. It's in this particular palette. So we've got some Aether Beauty, we've got Ace Beauté Nostalgia palette, and here's what I kept from that Royal Edition palette. Some of the shades a little beat up. So this means, because again, I do my looks holistically from a palette, I can reach into this palette holistically to create my look as long as I am using the shade Castle. And Castle, you guys, it's a great one. It's an easy one. It's a little beat up as well. This one right here. So this is Castle. This is going to be a nice crease transition color, which gives me tons of versatility and flexibility to try out some of these other shades as well. 320, I haven't looked at the shade yet, but it comes to me from a palette I've used like once and decided, yeah, that's good. I will keep it in my collection, and then I never reached for it again. So this will be a much better test to see if this is something that's going to stay. This is from BoxyCharm, as was the last one. This is from Tarte. This is their Amazonian Clay Eyeshadow Palette in Sunrise. And the shade, actually before I show you the shade, let's show you the palette. That is the palette. And the shade I rolled in is Adore, which is the setting color. So again, super easy colors this go around. So we have a transition one I can use very easily in the last palette, a setting shade which gives me tons of flexibility in this one. let's talk about goals. Obviously, the main goal is going to be on the shade Solar, which is the one that's currently standing in the project from last time. 6 uses left on that. And then from there, I mean, I do have a lot of eyeshadow on other projects, including my Natasha Denona Retro palette, which still needs a fair number of uses for Roses Are Red for the finale on Valentine's Day. So that's going to be my priority number 1. Solar is going to be priority number 2. And then we want to get some movement to get these other ones up a lot higher, but they're nice, natural, neutral, everyday shades, so should be easy. But that's going to wrap up today's video, the eyeshadow usage project. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video very soon. Have a wonderful day.